Hi everyone, my name is Leah and I'm an artist in Singapore, and in today's video we're gonna be unboxing IPEVO VZ-R, which is a visualizer or document camera right over here. So yeah, let's go.
Alright, while I unbox this, let me share why I need a visualizer in the first place. As a calligraphy teacher, I've learned that the right workspace can make all the difference. My classes are often structured in a way where demonstrations are done throughout the entire duration of the class, which is why I prioritize a setup that allows everyone to see the demonstrations clearly from where they're seated, without having the need to strain their eyes or getting up from their chairs and crowding around me every single time. I also have older folks joining my classes, and I want to be mindful of their needs as well, ensuring that they can see the letters the right way up, comfortably in their seats. I also know that the devil is in the details when it comes to calligraphy, so the ability to zoom in on those super tiny details and strokes with a visualizer, to me, that adds so much value to the experience of the student. And all that's to say, having a visualizer is pretty much a non-negotiable for me. Alright, at this point, let's take a look at the visualizer itself. It comes in a beautiful emerald green color, and I love how it looks. It's very light and portable as well. On the side, you will see the different functions of the visualizer with the accompanying buttons. And I will go through everything else later on, so don't worry about that. For now, these are the items that are inside the box itself. We have the stand, the visualizer, the cable, some screws, as well as a screwdriver. And it's actually pretty intuitive to kind of put everything together. There is a quick startup guide, but I just went ahead and just set it up myself because it was pretty straightforward. So you just put 2 screws inside the base, okay, and you're just gonna screw it together. They do give you 2 additional screws just in case you lose them. Alright, so yeah, just screw it in and it's good to go. Okay, so now we will take a look at the back of the visualizer. So on the far left, you would see the frequency rate or refresh rate, and this highly depends on where you're based. Okay, so you can choose 50 Hz or 60 Hz, and because I'm based in Singapore, I'll be going for the 50 Hz. If you're in Europe, likely you'll be using 50 as well, and if you're in North America, likely you'll be going for 60. Okay, but when you're using the visualizer and you do see a little bit of flicker, then you can tune it up from 50 to 60, and that should reduce the flicker and you'll get a smoother, clearer video. Alright, so moving on to the next one, we have the USB/power. So this is the USB Type-C port, and essentially you just use the included USB cable that's provided to power up the visualizer, and the last port is the HDMI port, and you just essentially attach the HDMI cable either from your TV or projector to this particular port. Okay, over here I'm at an external venue to test out the visualizer, so I'm attaching the TV's HDMI cable to the HDMI port of the visualizer, and I want to show you a couple of ways of how you can power up the visualizer itself. Option number 1, you can use the included cable, which is a USB Type-C to USB Type-A, and if you're a Windows user, no issues, you can use it directly. But if you're a Mac user like myself, you do have to get an adapter to use it with your MacBook, especially if you're using newer models of Mac. Alright, if not, you can also go for option number 2, using a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable directly. And I actually got this from my iPad, so if you have it, that would be great. If not, no worries, we will go for the easiest option, which is option number 3. You just plug it in straight up to your nearest power socket. Okay, so this is the easiest. If it's not nearby, you can also get like a cable extender kind of situation, or you can also use a power bank, which is option number 4. So here's the test. I just plug it in right to the wall socket, and we want to see how long does it take for the visualizer to respond. So we're waiting and waiting and wait. Oh, there it is. So it's actually pretty fast. I was very surprised on how fast it is. If it doesn't show up for you just yet, don't worry. Go to your user settings under source, and you want to click the correct HDMI port. There's usually a couple of them, like 1, 2, and 3. So just pick the correct one. So you just saw how it is a plug and play visualizer. There's no need to download or install any software at all to my phone, my laptop, my TV or projector to get started. The next thing I want to show you is the swivel function. So there are two joints of the main arm that you can maneuver, and you can see I can tilt it as low as I want or as high as I want. And this camera itself, you are able to swivel it about, I want to say like 270 degrees. It's not 360, but it's pretty much like a really high coverage, and I think that's good enough. To compare, this is the visualizer that I've used before, and you can see not only is it bulky, it also does not have the swivel function, so I always have to put the visualizer at an odd angle, and it's pretty much fixed right there, which is why I'm very happy about the swivel function of the VZ-R. You can technically place it anywhere around you and just adjust the angle accordingly by turning the camera to your preference. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the zoom function. So you can zoom in and you can zoom out like 5 times. So there are 5 different notches in total. I usually don't need like the level 5. I usually go up to 2 or 3, but it's there if you need it. You can also use the adjustment for exposure as well to brighten it up or lower down the brightness. There's also an autofocus function, either a continuous or single focus, and you can also switch up the filters. So there are inbuilt filters inside the VZ-R. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's there if you need it. The VZ-R also has an inbuilt light function. If you're using a TV or a monitor, I don't think you would ever use it, but if your visualizer is plugged into a projector, you will likely need to dim the lights in your room. If that's the case, then having an inbuilt light is key. So over here, I'm testing out the low light capabilities. I just switched off all the lights in the room, and you can see that the surface area is still well lit. It means it passed the test. Yes! And I'm super happy about this because sometimes when I teach at schools or events, I just don't know whether or not the light situation is ideal. Moving on, something that I never knew I wanted is the recording function. If you look to IPEVO's website, they also have this visualizer software. You can download it from your app store as well. It's 100% optional. It's like an additional free resource, and yes, it's free to download, and essentially it mirrors the same functions as your physical VZ-R visualizer, but there are just some additional features that are thrown into this software app that you can maneuver digitally via the interface. So right now you can see that I'm just playing around with the different features and adjustments. You can change the brightness, the contrast, the sharpness and saturation, things like that. And I think this is good, especially if you're recording any form of video. You can change the resolution as well as the proportion size. So for the most part, I usually use 16:9, which is the proportion for YouTube. Okay, but something that you can't do on the actual physical VZ-R is the exposure lock, white balance lock, as well as the manual focus. These you have to do digitally via the interface if you want it. Okay, but the autofocus, like the continuous focus and single focus, those are things that you can press like the button, the physical buttons of the VZ-R, and you can change accordingly whenever you like. So here is the autofocus. I think it focused quite well even though I was moving the object. And then here is the single focus. So you can see I lifted the same bottle but it does not focus. It means that it is focused on this whatever that you're looking at right now. I think usually when I'm recording anything, I will usually go for a single focus because I think auto focusing in and focusing out can be quite distracting sometimes. So but yes, up to you, whichever option that you prefer. Okay, over here, these are like the video filters. We have already seen them. We can change it physically via the buttons, but again, here you can do it digitally as well. Next, we have the grid lines or guidelines. I think this is good, especially if you're a photographer or like an art teacher where, you know, like if you want to talk about composition, rule of thirds, you can use the guidelines to help you. And the last button right there is freezing of live images, and yeah, it just does exactly what it sounds. Okay, and then moving on. Oh, okay, the next one about the zooming in, right? So over here you can do a continuous zoom. You know what I mean? Because the actual physical VZ-R, you can zoom up to 5 levels, but not like a, you know, multitude of different range of zoom. So I think that's quite cool. You can also do rotation in the interface as well, and at this point I'm just exploring all the different functions. I don't know how interesting this is for you, but hopefully it helps, because before because when I was researching, right, I want to make sure like whatever my expectations are, the product is able to match up to it, you know what I mean? So hopefully this walkthrough is able to help you make a more informed decision. Oh, and one more thing, this visualizer software app is not just for the VZ-R, it's also compatible with other models from IPEVO, so you may want to check that out as well to see what is suitable for you. But this visualizer software app has so many functions. There are things that I didn't know I even wanted, and it exists. Like right here, you can see there are many different recording functions, or rather options. Yeah, there's a record function, time-lapse, as well as stop motion. Those are the three that I'm most interested in, but yes, many options. Now to put it to a test, I decided to record a little video, but before I do that, I made sure to turn the manual focus over to AF-S, which stands for single focus, and then I click record. Okay, so as you watch the video, I just want to mention that I made a mistake, and the mistake is I did not change the settings of the resolution as well as like the proportion and all that stuff, and it's actually on the top right hand corner of the interface. So you do have to change it manually before you click on any recording, because after I paused the video, the final video turned out to be quite low res, like I couldn't really see the details. So just for the convenience of your future self, just make sure you change all the settings to the highest resolution and to the highest quality possible. I also recorded a time-lapse at its highest resolution, and I love how it turned out. Overall, I hope this video helps you to make a more informed decision. At this price point, I think that the VZ-R is really good for both its form as well as function. And I think if you're a designer, artist, or teacher of any kind, you would definitely enjoy the VZ-R. And like always, feel free to leave any questions below and I'll be sure to answer them. Bye bye!